Over the past few weeks, we have seen mini driver releases from TaylorMade and now from Callaway, which has a lot of people wondering, when are we going to see a mini driver release from Titleist? Well, I was on the Titleist PGA Tour event a couple of weeks ago, and I may have seen it, but I'm not sure if it's ever going to be something you'll be able to hit. 2 weeks ago, I was at the Memorial Tournament when Titleist brought the GT2, GT3, and GT4 drivers to the PGA Tour for the very first time. People were really excited. They wanted to know all about those drivers. There was no mini driver in the GT family. However, as I said, over the course of the last several weeks and months, going back to the run-up to the Masters, there has been a club floating around the Titleist PGA Tour event that several pros have put into their bag and have gotten really excited about. It's called the Titleist TSR 2 Wood. Now, let me be very clear, I did not hit this club, but Titleist did make it available to me for some close-up photographs and shoot some video of it, which means the more that I learned about it, the more I'm going to share with you about it. So let's take a look and see what we know about the Titleist TSR 2 Wood. Now, holding the golf club in my hand and taking a close-up look at it, as you can see here, the Titleist TSR 2 Wood to me looks a lot more from a size perspective like the TaylorMade burner mini drivers. While I don't have the exact volume sizing, it doesn't look like it's quite as big as the new Callaway Paradigm AI Smoke Tie 340 mini driver. That one is 340 cc's. The TaylorMade mini drivers have been right around 300 cc's. That's what this club looks like in terms of the sizing of it. As you can see from the address position shot right here, this is classic Titleist stuff. We've got the glossy black crown, a small TSR emblem right there to help you align it up. Glossy top, not a black matte finish. There is a very clean, very classic pear-shaped look in the address position. So if you have liked Titleist fairway woods and drivers in the past, this is going to be right up your alley. Now, like the TSR4 driver as well as the GT4 driver, which is yet to be released, the TSR2 wood has two weights, one in the forward position and one all the way back that you can see here. And that allows players and fitters to manipulate the center of gravity forward and back. Now, why would you want to do that? Well, on a golf club like this, you're really trying to control and manipulate spin and launch angle. By putting a heavier weight in the forward position, it's going to reduce spin, reduce launch angle, and probably increase ball speed by just a touch. But when you put a heavier weight in the back, and dimensionally and from a shaping standpoint, these look like the weights that are in the other TSR drivers. By putting a heavier weight in the back, you're going to be able to increase the launch angle, increase spin, probably increase up the MOI and the stability of the head, but this is really going to be much more of a spin manipulation, launch angle manipulation type of a story when you've got weights in the front and the back like you have here. And like all of the woods that have been in the Titleist family for the past several generations, it looks like this has a short fit Hosel adjustment system, which allows players and fitters to independently adjust the loft as well as the lie angle. So from a fitting standpoint, it could really help out to be able to adjust those components independently. Now, Titleist did not tell me if there's carbon fiber in this driver or not. To this point, we really don't have a carbon fiber driver or fairway wood in the Titleist TSR family. So I am presuming, looking at this and judging by everything here, that we're talking about an all titanium construction. The face has a very deep face to it. The hitting area is very tall from crown to leading edge, which would make sense on a driver alternative type club. You're looking for something that's going to give you driver-like performance, but just basically going to be scaled down a little bit. Notice how the top of the crown swoops up a little bit and then comes back down. That is going to help with aerodynamics. That's going to help the golf club move a little bit quicker through the air. This is all really coming from the TSI 3 family. The TSI 3 was a really important club in the Titleist world because that shape was very fast through the air and players adored it. So this last generation with the TSR family, the TSR 2, from a shape standpoint, became much more 3-like, and that was no accident. That was the most pleasing shape. With the TSR 2 wood, we see that shape just on a smaller scale. So as with all mini drivers, the question that keeps coming up again and again is, who is this actually for? Why would you ever need to put this club in your bag? And from what I'm being told, this is now a club for several Titleist players that off the tee is going to be used in order to hit a draw. Most big hitters, like a Cameron Young or a Will Zalatoris or somebody like Max Homa, their traditional shot shape of their driver is going to be from left to right, a fade. On some holes where they might want to be able to turn the ball over to hit a shot from right to left. For example, Cameron Young put this club into the bag before the Masters this last year. Think the tee shot on 13 when you're trying to wrap it around the corner from right to left. Think about maybe the second shot, if you're going to hit something like this off the deck, where you need to hit a big draw up the hill on number 8. This is the type of golf club, because the head size is smaller than a driver, and because it has a little bit more loft, players are going to be able to turn it over a little bit more easily than they would a 460cc driver. And for that reason, being able to hit a draw, to shape shots from right to left, most of the time is easier for players with a club like this, traditionally with a 3-wood. With going with a larger club like this, they're going to still theoretically be able to turn that over and be able to manipulate that face and the head a little more easily than a 460cc driver. So think of this as a draw driver when players are willing to sacrifice a little bit of distance in order to get some shot shape. Now, once again, I was told by several people in the Titleist truck that there is no plan as of right now for this club to be made available to the public. This is a tour-only club. It also would make sense that a TSR 2-wood would not be coming out and being released when Titleist is getting ready to release the new GT family of drivers and fairway woods. Now, that could mean that there would be a GT mini driver or 2-wood that is released at some point later in 2024 or possibly even in 2025 if Titleist, which traditionally runs on 2-year product cycles, wants to invigorate or give a little bit of a boost, sometimes what's called a line extension, to the GT family at some point in 2025, but I don't think that we're going to be seeing the TSR 2-wood being brought out in 2024, which begs the question, why are they making it available to players on the PGA Tour? There were requests from tour players for something like this. They are the players that oftentimes have so much club head speed that driver is simply too much. They want that control. They want to be able to turn it over and hit a draw. They were getting requests for their design team to make something like this. They have produced it. At some point down the line, as more and more players start to adopt this type of a club and it gains in popularity, I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if we did see something like this from Titleist brought to retail. But right now, I think the thinking in Titleist's world is that this is such a niche product. There is not an overwhelming demand. Let's keep going forward with GT product. And if we need to bring something else like the GT, if we need to bring something out like the TSR 2-wood to the market, we can do that at a later point. So look, if you were looking to get a Titleist mini driver at some point in 2024, I am sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's a dead topic. I think at some point it could happen. I wouldn't be holding your breath that it's going to happen in 2024. So look, if you got some good information on this video, it would be fantastic if you would like this video, subscribe to my channel, as well as drop a comment below. I try and answer as many comments as I possibly can. It's always really interesting to find out what people are thinking when it comes to mini drivers, what they're looking for from brands, what they're really hoping to be picking up. So I'm fascinated with all the comments you folks are able to put in that section down below. It really is kind of cool. So thanks a lot for tuning in, and I'll look forward to talking again real soon.